Alright guys, morning. Welcome back to the channel, Farrell Farms. Once again, I'm Travis. We're actually getting ready to load up and head west to another field, but I was just going to kind of show you what we kind of look at in the mornings when we roll up. Obviously we fuel up, top off with DEF, but we come down to the sickle bar here, and you know, we're just checking for broken guards, broken sections. So these would be the guards, and obviously these are the sections. You have the hold downs. So we're checking if any of those are broke. They break pretty easy just with all the rocks. Just, yeah, typical stuff you hit. So there are some grease zerks, like on the reel. There's a couple inside here. Then we come around. We generally do not grease the whole combine, just for the fact of some of these zerks and bearings go by hours, like say 400 hours down to 50. So we try to hit those 50s every day, but we do check our clean grain. You know, we want a little bit of movement on that sprocket, but we don't want much. We don't want it real tight. And so there's probably a little too much there. So we do not have the impact. That's the easiest way to do it. We will unloosen these, and we'll just lower this down a little bit to tighten that chain. Same way with tailings. It's a tad loose, but anyway, we'll get those tight, and you know, we just kind of go over everything. You know, it doesn't hurt to open up some shields and just check bearings. Just kind of look over everything. Try to prevent, well, we're trying to prevent a bearing going out, causing a fire. So, but yeah, we just visually do that. Same with that combine. And then the cart, we do grease. We grease it every day, the auger. It's just the easiest thing to do. So
gotta have more coffee.
Coffee run.
Coffee run.
So yeah, anyway, everything looks pretty good. Like I said, we haven't cut too many acres, maybe a couple hundred, but we gotta have our coffee.
That's right.
Cannot start the day out without coffee.
And Travis takes care of me on coffee after mine runs out.
That's right.
He brings a half gallon of coffee, and I usually get one out of it, and he drinks the rest. But I gotta have
coffee. So, all right, well, we're gonna buzz back, grab the impact. That's gonna be the quickest way to do those, and yeah, we'll get moved and get started here. You got anything to say?
Yeah. Good morning from Farrell Farms. Pleased to have you with us. Don't forget to hit the button, subscribe, and enjoy this wonderful weather. Enjoy this week. Beautiful. God has given us some good weather to get something done. So let's go at it.
All right, got one machine moved down here. Buck is untying the straps. Swinging my steps out. Alright, we got hooked on. Lower the head down to where we can hook on the single point connection for hydraulics, and we'll hook up the PTO, and we should be good to go on this one. We'll unhook the carrier, and we always want to unhook it in the field to where even if there's not a truck, more or less park it to where we can get the head off. So, you know, you don't want to park it the other way, then no pickup, you can't get the head off. You got to wait for a truck to flip it around. So Needs to be a clean connection there. Same as that end. Just wipe those ends off. You want to double check your electrical. You know, make sure you don't have any dent pins. Alright, so we're good to go. So this is a single point connection, and so what it is, it has all the hydraulics and the electrical within this block. And what this lever also does, you have this pin that you pull out to unhook or hook. But when you lower this lever down, there's a cable on this side, and what that does, that slides a pin in on each side and actually locks the head on. So this is real handy. The older system style, you had connections here, not like this, but then you had to go down on each side and slide those in manually. So it just simplifies things, makes it easier. So once again, we got our PTO hooked up, and I think we're gonna park this one over to the side, unhook the carrier. We will run back, grab the other machine, do the same thing, go back, get the cart. We got a little time before Alvin will get here, and we really didn't have much to do this morning, but you can see the flag. We got a little bit of breeze blowing, but we still figured probably around noon before they'd go. So anyway, let's get going here. Yep, 2 more trips.
Sometimes I think it would be nice to be able to pull a cart behind the combine like I see some of them do, but then again, that can be a hassle too. You can't get into places unless you got a place to stage them already cut, moving back to another field. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of miles between places, but it still takes time.
All right, we are rolling full steam now. Got Alvin to my right, Buck in the cart out there. Still a few green stem, but I'll tell you what, they're testing down to 9% right now. So we got Rick back there in the semi, and we are currently just shipping direct. So working out pretty good. But I did want to tell you that kind of a little secret. Well, not so much a secret. I'm sure a lot of guys do it, but I generally clean my windows. I cleaned them this morning, and with Windex and towels, and I will not do that again for quite a long time, because every night before I quit, I use the old trusty California duster. And you know, at times I got to do it, you know, through the day too when it's real dusty. But I mean, it just, if you do it of an evening, you know, before the dew sets overnight, you know, do it before you quit. You come back in the morning and she's good to go. So I've done that the past couple years, and like I said, you know, just from sitting over in storage, I do wash them with Windex and paper towel. But if you do that of an evening, yeah, you won't have to. You can get rid of that stuff. So works pretty good. So looks like we got Buck out there doing some filming as well. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, yeah, these beans are doing pretty good. Pretty impressed. So for an early bean, we're still on 2 4s. I actually went up north to my mom's, and I have some 3 4s up there, about 350 acres, and those are coming along pretty quick too. What we really need right now, I mean, we are dry. We've not had rain for a while, but we could use a shot of rain just to finish these beans off, you know, knock some leaves off, and that's pretty much it. Keep loading trucks. did want to say, for those that do not know what we're cutting, what this is, these are soybeans. So, you know, an average in Indiana around our area really is, you know, probably about 60. Well, you'd like a lot higher than that, but probably 50 to 60 is, I don't know, maybe a pretty good average. But we are swinging the auger out here and buckle unload us. But you know, I mean, we'll see numbers up to 70, 75. I'm not saying that's going to be the average, but I mean, you will hit sections where, like, we're pushing 70 right there. We'll bump some 80s every now and again, but as far as an average goes, that generally doesn't happen. So, old flag's looking good. Ended up putting Old Glory back on the combine. Buck was sad. He didn't have a flag on the cart, so we ended up throwing the Trump Pence flag back on it. Looks pretty good. So I think we'll run that. The other combine is running the Indiana state flag. We like to run that one too. So yeah, this ought to come close to topping Kevin off. We'll get him going. I think Mike is on his way. We'll get him loaded. Those two are hauling in direct for today. So should be pretty good. We really do. We got a pretty clean tank sample. We're getting a few green pods in there, but that's all right. Still testing pretty dry, so that won't matter anything going to the terminal. So all right. Hey, one thing I did want to point out, my boots. I always wear double H boots, but I actually had some stitching come loose in these, and I looked for a shoe cobbler. We had one about 30 miles north of us and never got up there. And so I started looking online, and I found the Shoe Hospital. They are amazing. They send you a bag, you put your boots in. It's cheap, it's reasonable. They ended up, I just had this one with, you know, stitching, and they ended up putting some stitching in here, and I think I had them back within a week. They did a deep cleaning on them. So, but I guess if anybody's looking for, you know, a shoe cobbler or needing some work done on boots, check out the Shoe Hospital. So I'll put a link below in the description. Yeah, I think I'll be using them every year. I may just send these off, you know, come spring when I don't wear them anymore, and let them do a deep cleaning and check them out. So yeah, there you go. Hey guys, I was going to talk about the what we call the shark fin. I had a picture on Instagram, and I will show that more up close. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll get a picture of that. But it is just a, it's kind of like a divider right in the middle of that center conveyor. And so when you're cutting like this, like a half swath, as that belt is carrying everything to the center, without that shark fin in there, it's going to shove everything past it. And the way these belts spin, it will flip beans underneath and they'll just dump right on the ground. You still lose a little bit that way anyway with that shark fin in there, but nothing compared to what it would be if you did not have it. So I'll go a little more in depth on that so you guys can understand and actually see how it works. So just wanted to point that out as I was kind of on these point rows right here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool feature, because I know actually I've had this shark fin for maybe 5 years, and it was actually made by a guy in southern Indiana, and I believe I've heard that he may have sold that patent to Lankota, so I know they offer it now. But yeah, it's well worth the $100 I spent. Alright, here's another good example with the shark fin. I'm taking half a swath, and you can see it stops it right in the middle at that shark fin. It stops trash from coming over to this side, running under that bell and back on the ground. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to point that out again. If anybody is on the fence about getting one or don't think they need it, you know, I guess unless you don't have any point rows and you're taking a whole swath the whole time, other than that, it's needed. So anyway, hope that helped. Alright, so this field is done. This is 95 acres here. We've got 200 across the road that we tried the other day and we had to pull out of. So we'll get unloaded here, and Alvin's on his way over. So we'll get over there, and they were a little greener in spots, but you know, it's been a couple days, so we'll just have to see what the tank sample looks like. We get cutting.